Order accepted. Thank you. Please give it your all. Take care of yourself.
You're a cut above the rest, that's for sure. Take this data. We've reserved more materials for you. I've shared with you the schematic for EX grenades. Fluids taken from Doom sufferers used to be required for their production, but we've recently developed methods to synthesize the necessary compounds. So we don't need to lean on you to churn them out anymore. These grenades aren't actually capable of taking down a BT, but they can be used to drive off gazers and slow down catchers. Temporarily, at least. This should give you more than enough time to get clear of BTs or to use other weapons to neutralize them. You'll figure out the most effective ways to use them, no doubt. Enjoy.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you. Feels good.
But don't let it discourage you from visiting us again, huh?
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Hey, Sam. All right. ¡Qué rápido! You must have run like the wind. Thank you. Let me repay the favor with some local data of ours. Maybe you'll find something up. We have allocated more resources. Now, well, this design is tailored for use with our fabricators. It's functionally no different from the ones bandits use. The rod extends with a quick shake and can be used to stun enemies over a wide area. It can also be thrown like a javelin, though you won't be able to retrieve the rod after doing so. A thrown rod will release a burst of electricity when it strikes the ground. And no bandit can shrug off a direct hit from this bad boy. Test it out, and you'll see.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
It could. You've got some seriously impressive skills. I'll bet something like you could use some extra materials as well, right?
Now displaying your current order grade.
This weapon is capable of full auto fire and can be stowed securely in a holster. It may be compact, but it has plenty of stopping power. Good for all kinds of situations you might find yourself in. I hope it's to your liking.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you. That's the spirit.
Well done, Sam. That's the last of the cargo. Let's head to our destination and make the delivery.
Thank you, God.
My name's Sam. Nobody stay here.
who can complete as many orders as you has to be a real badass. Which means you can definitely make the most of this. You could use some extra material.
Now displaying your current order grade.
I'm sure you'll be able to make the most of it. We've got a lot riding on you and your network, after all.
Order completed. Well done.
Oh, that's right. Let's just sit here for a second and meditate. No one's home.
You can take my heart and hold it together as we fall apart.
61. Have I ever really loved someone?
I'll be singing a song.
To fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the deck. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me. Defeat me, it won't be long till happiness steps up to me. The raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
Stretch my legs. Trouble nearby.
just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop.
Someone's out there.
Because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. Raindrops are falling on my head, just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done.
Probably nearby.
but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
Let's take 5.
Sure.
It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. For me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
Who calls for comfort?
just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
Are you injured, Sam?
Shouldn't be too...
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining.
-60. So
That's Tarman's son. He must have placed the photograph in here for safekeeping. This is an important memento. Why don't we go and take it to him?
I found this picture in your book. Is this your son?
Thank you. Yes. He's still out there somewhere, borne along on the currents. With this right hand of mine. It's due to my connection with said missing piece that I can read the movements of the tar. Something akin to a phantom pain. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
I was both a medical doctor and a geophysics researcher once upon a time. In those days, the tar currents were a key focus of mine. This ship was originally built to facilitate my studies, in fact. The deep tar hunting vessel Magellan, we named her. A ship perfectly suited to pursuing the creatures that thrive in the tar's depths. Another avenue of research, you might say. We called them chiral mammals, for lack of a better name. Seemed like the closest fit. Reckoned if we caught one, we could figure out all the mysteries. The tar, the tides, hell, maybe even the stranding.
Whoa, she's a big one.
Strip yourself in, son.
Tar's looking calm. I'll be fine, Pop. You seeing this? I think she's pregnant. Hey, Pop. This is weird.
Stop! just like that, the tar took my boy, and my hand along with him. At first, I thought this little guy was my son reborn.
If I may ask a question, the hunters that attacked you after you caught the Cairo animal, are you sure they came from within the creature's womb?
Yes. That said, I'm not of the opinion that the hunters were its offspring.
Its womb merely served as a gateway to the other side.
Indeed. The tar and the beach are connected.
Moby Dick, or The Whale, seems to be one of Tarman's favorite novels. As the name suggests, it's a story about a white sperm whale named Moby Dick. Captain Ahab, one of the main characters, uses a prosthetic leg made of whalebone to replace the one Moby Dick took long ago. He's obsessed with getting revenge against the whale, which he hates with a terrible passion, all while nursing the phantom pain of his lost leg. In the end, Ahab fails to exact vengeance on his foe and is dragged into the sea. His crew's only survivor is Ishmael, the book's narrator. He was rescued after clinging desperately to a coffin-shaped life buoy. That's right, a coffin was his savior. Ironic, isn't it? How you use a thing makes all the difference. On a dark night in May 1816, 3 men and 2 women found themselves confined to a villa on the shore of Lake Geneva. A catastrophic volcanic eruption had wrought havoc on the global climate, and a relentless rain hammered down outside. With little else to do, the occupants of the villa decided to compose ghost stories, and it was on this fateful night that a woman named Mary penned what would become Frankenstein. Mary, who was only 18 years of age, had already lived a tumultuous life. She was engaged in an affair with the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley at the time, whom she would later go on to marry. A dramatic retelling of these events was committed to film prior to the Death Stranding. Titled Mary Shelley, it stars Elle Fanning in the lead role. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Thank you, Sam.
Sure.
It goes without saying that I too will continue to support you, Sam. Here's to many more exciting adventures. It goes without saying. My darling wife was working as a nurse in an isolation ward. A luckless place which one day found itself in the path of a tar tsunami, a freak occurrence triggered by an ill-timed gatequake. Not a single person survived. No patients, no doctors, no wife. We just have to be careful. Hold on. Access to the site had been restricted, but we weren't about to let that stop us. It was my daughter's idea. Come through. She was desperate to see her mother again. Be careful. Take off your hood. Okay, hold my hand.
Mommy?
It's me, honey. It's me. In the end, it wasn't even her daughter that she remembered. Before we knew it, we were swallowed by the tar, battered against the rocks, and eventually coughed back up into this world. Wait! Don't go! Down here, please!
Hello, little one. You cold? Let me guess. The car of that poor girl over there?
Oh, my daughter's car is long gone. I'm afraid it's just me now. She died, but for whatever reason, her soul was unable to move on because it ended up here in her doll, stuck somehow. My baby girl would have been left here all on her own. So I liberated her, forced her car out with one solid push. And she was free at last. free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Just as I would have done had I not gotten stuck myself.
I see. That's quite a story. Believe it or not, I've been looking all over for you, Mr. Spirit Medium.
As you can see, I'm of no use to anyone. I can't go anywhere. I'll be stuck here for the rest of eternity, and that's that.
Want to come work for me instead? Yoha's no good to you now.
Huh. It didn't last long out of the tar. Poor old thing turned into a bog body in no time at all. You think you could bury them for me?
They call me fragile. What do they call you? The Talon Man, maybe? No. Dolman suits you better.
If Fragile hadn't come looking for me, I'd almost certainly still be lying in that dreadful tar bog.
But your soul's trapped in that doll forever?
Perhaps. But if I could break free from this thing, maybe then I can be reunited with my daughter. When that happy day might come, I cannot say. I did what any father would do. I pushed my daughter's car out of this doll. And she was free at last. Free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Thank you for listening to my story, Sam. But enough about me. It's time I let you focus on your job. As I mentioned before, I lost my wife to a tar tsunami. And after she died, she turned into a geyser. My daughter was unable to accept her mother's passing. She pleaded with me to see her again. As a medium, I thought it was within my power to grant her wish. So I gave in and took her to the hospital where her mother had died. It was the worst mistake I've ever made. I thought it was the right thing to do, taking my daughter to be reunited with her mother. And when we arrived, we played her favorite song, hoping for a reaction. But it was too late. She had no memories of our time together as a family. She was no different from any other gazer. To be honest, I already knew that deep down. My daughter's Ha was swallowed up by the tar soon after, as was mine. And eventually, my Ka became stuck inside my daughter's doll. A prison very much of my own making. I couldn't tell you how long I lay there, until finally, someone came. Fragile. Looking for fellow doomed sufferers to recruit to her cause. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. I've known Tarman for quite a while now, but that was the first time I've heard him speak about his son in that fashion. It made me wish that I could do something, anything to ease his burden. But setting aside those feelings, suppose that cat of his is in fact his son reborn. Why does it treat me as though I'm a threat? Does it just hate me? Reincarnation or not, perhaps it's still a cat at heart. I dare say tomorrow may have mastered her unique abilities. She can complete the apple aging exercise flawlessly and with remarkable consistency. It's been a boon for her confidence, and I am ever so happy for her, as I'm sure you are as well. Showers these days are truly impressive, Sam. They really are. They're able to collect all the minute chiral crystals from your wastewater and repurpose them for later use. The ones on board the DHV Magellan are the latest model. You would do well to use them regularly. Did you manage to take a good photo? Sam, Pierre Southern of South Fort Knott, was it? To think his mentor was instrumental to the development of the DHV Magellan's propulsion systems. One could go so far as to say that he's one of our vessel's many fathers. Sam, is that Horizon Dreamer I spy in your music collection? That's one of Daiichi Miura's best songs. I'd love to hear it again, to listen and remember my family. Out of curiosity, Sam, did you notice that the mirror above your sink displays images of the outside world? These images change as we travel and actually show what's waiting for us outside the DHV Magellan when we disembark. Prolonged living inside an enclosed space can be bad for one's mental health due to the unchanging environment. That's why I asked Tarman to implement this particular feature. A digital photo frame, so to speak. An easy-to-understand name, don't you think? Though I'm the only one who calls it that. Anyway, it'll give you a preview of our surroundings. That's sure to have some practical benefits. So, operations at the Eastern Environmental Observatory are managed by just one man. All alone in the mountains. Must be terribly stressful. To survive in such extreme conditions, you cannot afford to let despair take root in your heart. Hope is an indispensable asset. Not to downplay the benefits of the cargo you brought, but the truth of the matter is that it won't make a difference for him that quickly. But what no doubt served to give him immediate comfort was the presence of a helpful soul. You, Sam. Porters can be bearers of light for those struggling in darkness. He'll not soon forget what you've done, nor the warmth that filled his heart when you arrived. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. No matter what misfortune may befall him, that adventurer is going to keep exploring the continent. I just know it. Is it the primal calling that compels him to make these journeys? Or perhaps he's become addicted to the thrills that come with experiencing the unknown. Regardless of his motivation, when I see how distressed his son is, I want to do what I can to get him home safe. Come to think of it, about that ghost mech we saw carrying what appeared to be a coffin on its back. I wonder if that coffin was somehow connected to the beach. I distinctly felt the presence of the dead from within its armor. If you could deal a blow powerful enough to bypass its defenses, it might be enough to stop it in its tracks. Failing that, you could always concentrate your attacks on a single location on its body. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. I saw that you received EX capture grenades from the metagenomicist. To think that the parasitic chiral microbes you brought her could be repurposed to infect and birth variant BTs in such a manner. Namely, by combining BT crystals with your own DNA to produce BT cores. If this is indeed true, it's a truly incredible discovery. You have to test this theory at the earliest opportunity, Sam. I'm eager to see what happens.
Sam.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. This one's a little bit harder than the first one. Sam.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. This one's a little bit harder than the first one. That's correct. Have a safe trip, Sam.
Cool.
That's the spirit. Totally, that's the spirit.
Good morning to you, Sam.
Good morning, Sam. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. When you consume a chronobiote, your perception of the world around you dramatically slows down for a brief period. It's not hard to imagine why that'd be beneficial in the middle of a fight. You'd have a much easier time lining up your shots, and you'd see enemy attacks coming long before they had a chance to hit you. I'm reminded of the difference in the passage of time experienced when we're on the beach. It stands to reason that both phenomena might be caused by microbes from the beach and their effects on our bodies when ingested. Sam, that place we were sent to, the land of the dead, it strikes me as odd that it was submerged underwater. And did you see those columns of ice, the ones descending from the surface all the way to the floor? Afterwards, I realized what they reminded me of. The columns were reminiscent of a phenomenon known as brinicles. When seawater freezes and turns to ice, salt concentrates are released into the surrounding water. This brine is heavier than the water around it due to its higher density. It therefore sinks deeper into the ocean. As it flows towards the ocean floor, its lower temperature results in the formation of ice. And as this process continues, it can produce column-like ice structures. Any living creatures unfortunate enough to become entangled in these can be frozen solid. Little wonder they're called icicles of death. Say, that's a pretty good score, buddy. Ah, yes. The times we've encountered Nirvana. The first was amidst flames, and the second was in what seemed to be flood-ravaged ruins. Now, I believe that you were previously transported to a realm not unlike a battlefield. The places we found ourselves in are similar in that they were the sites of disasters. This is just a theory, but it could be the case that what we've seen is a reflection of Neil's mental state. He may have been a first-hand witness to a terrible tragedy which left a lasting mark on him. Pizza do karate. Huh. Maybe I should give it a try too. It'd be great if someone could show me how it's done. Maybe I could learn through VR training? Maybe we could call it Taekwondo. Tell you what, you can be my very first student. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. When I saw that coffin, I was reminded of a rather unorthodox type of psychotherapy. The patient lies down inside a coffin, which is then closed, plunging them into darkness. In being subjected to this simulated experience of being laid to rest, they may find a measure of peace and comfort. If you spot a coffin that seems suitable for this, why not climb inside and see what happens? Come to think of it, each time we take the DHV Magellan into the currents, the level of tar pollution on board increases. Which is why everyone has to pitch in to clean the ship after every trip. In spite of that, we still find ourselves stymied by nasty blockages like this one. Tarman broke 3 mops attempting to dislodge a particularly stubborn wad before throwing up his hands in despair. Although he failed in that epic struggle, I can only respect his dedication. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. The doctor's talents were a sight to behold. A psychic midwife. I've never had the opportunity to watch one at work before. How many children has she held in those hands of hers, I wonder? I expect she knows a great deal about BB units as well. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. So that was the esteemed data scientist. It didn't take much convincing to become a part of the chiral network after all, did they? I suppose the appeal of APAS's analytical capabilities was too much to ignore. And they must be quite the fan of pizza, too. The considerable weight of our last delivery did not escape my notice. Just how many pizzas do you think the chef was able to pack into that container? Huh. A suit that prevents its wearer from being recognized by AI cameras. Eyes are the most prominent sensory organ of many life forms. Those of us who specialize in psychology often learn a great deal about them. You see, what the eye and the camera perceive is compared against past experiences and data to yield a conclusion. Perhaps this suit exploits a flaw in how AI cameras perform this function. Which is to say, you shouldn't presume you won't show up on these cameras. But I think it may utilize a form of optical jamming to obfuscate your appearance. In this way, it ensures the system doesn't interpret you as an intruder. Come to think of it, I see that the armed survivalists have gotten their hands on a new assortment of weapons. And our own arsenal has since been expanded, courtesy of the pizza chef. People seem less and less inclined to give others the benefit of the doubt these days. I fear it's going to continue to get harder to earn the trust of strangers in the future. Sam, Hartman's condition is cause for concern. There's no sugarcoating the tremendous strain he's putting on his body. His is undeniably one of the hardest 21-minute syndromes to live with. The regular disruption to his circulatory system and the flow of blood is damaging all of his organs. And come to think advantage of the tar and used her unique abilities against them, it demonstrated impressive improvisational skills. But her capacity to rapidly accelerate the age of any material or enemy she comes into contact with. Oh, I can't help but be a little jealous. But there are other ways I can contribute to your work, and I hope to continue doing so. Sam, that friend of the dowser we rescued was a very brave man, don't you think? To go to such a dangerous place all by himself, in spite of the countless potential risks. Perhaps it would have been better if he wasn't quite so brave. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. The armed survivalists don't seem concerned in the least about causing people's deaths. It's unconscionable, terrifying too. Man, the thought alone's enough to make me feel sick. Sam, none of us can go through catastrophic trauma without being forever scarred by the experience. Trying to reclaim a sense of normalcy through routine can help the heart to heal. Your deliveries are making a big difference, Sam. For others and for yourself. Apropos of nothing, necrobiotes are fascinating. And they seem to have become more commonplace lately as well. Ever since you and I were swallowed up by that tar fall, to be specific. This sudden increase in the population should be considered yet another example of an environmental anomaly. If we successfully extend the network across the continent and trigger a plague gate to appear, such anomalies should begin to wane. Apropos of nothing, so Samson Hook from the F2 South Distribution Center is not a man to be trifled with, no sir. I did some research, and I found he's a popular local figure, beloved by one and all, it seems. Known as the Golden Fist as well. But don't misunderstand. I'd wager the people's love for him is not rooted solely in his considerable martial prowess. Sam, the Brigands' vehicles are of a rather antiquated design. Significantly different from the standard pickup off-roader. You won't be able to get them repaired at distribution centers or on the DHV Magellan. Can't even store them in a garage. They're enemy property after all. Too risky to bring inside our facilities. Could be booby-trapped. I'd not get into the habit of using them too often if I were you. Apropos of nothing, I was looking into the conditions that led to the bushfire we escaped. It seemed to have been caused by a phenomenon known as chiral cinders. Unlike other items washed up by the currents, cinders violently erupt from the tar and soar through the sky before crashing to the ground. This phenomenon has been observed across the continent and has led to an increase in bushfires. It's one more potential threat to keep an eye out for. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. Ever wanted to learn more about the various creatures housed at the animal shelter, Sam? Well, there's a speaker outside the facility that they use to broadcast updates. Might be good to check in on some of the animals we've taken there once in a while. Sam, the kangaroo you rescued is currently being cared for and studied at the animal shelter. You know, if you ever want to stop by and see how it's doing, I wouldn't object. Sam, are you curious how I maintain my youthful appearance? It's because Rainey lets me shower in her core fall from time to time. Come to think of it, Rainey used to be much more quiet and withdrawn. she seemed averse to spending time with people. Dolls, too. It was singing and dancing that got her to open up. I'm something of a performer myself, though I've never showed anyone. Ah, yes. The Rainbow Valley greenhouses are the product of our researchers' hard work. And thanks to you and me, those invaluable structures will endure for a good while yet. Come to think of it, there are organisms in this area that I don't believe I've ever laid eyes on before. My understanding is that they're called chiral creatures, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Apparently, they will drain your batteries if you come into contact with them. There may be other deleterious effects for all we know. And really, you shouldn't be bothering them anyway. There's nothing to be gained from it. It's not like they drop coins when defeated. Sam, apparently you can create your own custom playlist for the music player. If you have any recommendations, I'm all ears, Sam. Ah, yes. Those wandering BTs we encountered, I believe people call them Watchers. A fitting name given their behavior. The way they seem to be eyeing us with such disconcerting intensity. Oof. They can't see everything, though. No, they've definitely got some blind spots. Meaning, you might be able to avoid combat by evading detection and sneaking past unnoticed. I don't really have anything else to say right now. All right, Sam. What do you say we head out and get to work? Ready to head out, Sam? I sure am. I was born ready. Sam, aren't you feeling eager to begin your next order? Sam, aren't you feeling eager to begin your next order? All right, Sam. What do you say we head out and get to work? All right, Sam. What do you say we head out and get to work? Sam, aren't you feeling eager to begin your next order?
Order accepted. Thank you. Welcome, Sam. Thanks. I knew you were fast. If only everyone was as kind as you. Take this data. You deserve it. You'll find that you can claim more materials.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
This schematic is for additional armor that can be equipped to track cruisers. Provides added protection for the man in the driver's seat. For that extra peace of mind when you've got to cut through enemy territory. If you like the sound of that, try customizing your tri-cruiser with it. I'll see you around. Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
There's our porter. A sight for sore eyes. Tienes huevos, cabrón.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Thanks. Safe travels, friend. Till next time.
Order completed. Well done.